Welcome guys. In this video we are going to look at the topic in math which is known as the sequence and series. Now the definition that we can give to a sequence can be defined as an ordered set of numbers where a pattern exists. Now there are two types of sequences. The first one is known as the arithmetic progression, denoted by AP. The second one is geometric progression, denoted by GP. Now, to understand the arithmetic progression, first I'm going to give you two examples of the first one for arithmetic progression and the second one for geometric progression. Now, here with an arithmetic progression, we have the sequence like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, dash, 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 dash. Then for geometric progression, we have 2, 4, 8, 16, dash, 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 dash. Now, let's first look at this progression AP. So under arithmetic progression, we can see that from 2 to 4, 2 was added. Then 4 to 6, 2 was added. 6 to 8, 2 was added. 8 to 10, 2 was added. So the same amount that was added on the first term to form the second term was the same amount that was used throughout the sequence. So you need to make sure that you have the same amount. Now let's check for sequence GP. So if we were to try addition from 2 to 4, we can see that 2 was added. Then 4 to 8, 4 was added. 8 to 16, 8 was added. So we can see that here the numbers are changing. So if the numbers are changing, then there should be another pattern. So we need to look at the pattern that was used. So let's try multiplication. So let's say 2 multiplied by 2, we get 4. 4 multiplied by 2, we get 8. 8 multiplied by 2, we get 16. So here we can see that if we use multiplication, we are using the same number, which is 2. So to summarize our work, excuse me, what I'm saying is under geometric progression, we have addition. As long as a certain amount is added to each term to form the next term, then that is an arithmetic progression. Then for a geometric progression, goes by the multiplication. Now, what of subtraction? Let's say we begin with 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. From 10 to 8, 2 was subtracted. 2 was subtracted. So, addition and subtraction are associated with an arithmetic progression. Now, let's say we have 16, 8, 4, 2. Now, to move from 16 to 8, we divide by 2. Then 8 to 4, we divide by 2. 4 to 2, we divide by 2. So multiplication and division goes with the GP, while addition and subtraction goes with an AP. So that is the best distinct part that you can use to differentiate the two progressions. Now let's focus on the AP for now. So let's go back to the same sequence that we are using. Now, what word is given to the numbers in a sequence? So the numbers in a sequence are known as a term. That's why the simple definition that we can give to a term is a number in a sequence. Now, let's say on this one, we say T1. Now, what does these numbers represent? So these numbers represents the position where the term is. For example, if we say T1, we can say T1 is equal to 2, which means that the number on position number 1 is equal to 2. So make sure you remember these subscripts. Away from the terms, now let's look at the common number that is being added on each term to form the next term. For example, we said from 2 to 4, 2 was added. 4 to 6, 2 was added. Now, what name is given to this number 2? So this 2 is known as the common difference, denoted by small letter d. Now, what is the formula? So the formula is second term minus first term. So the number in front minus the number on the back. Or we can say third term minus fourth term. Minus second term. Or fourth term minus third term. Okay, let's see if we can find a common difference. So what is the second term? So the second term is 4. So if we say 4 minus the first term is 2. So we can see that we are getting the common difference of 2. Let's try to use third term and second term. So the third term is 6 minus the second term is 4, giving us the value of 2. Or if what we can say 8 minus 6, we get 2. 10 minus 8, we still get 2. So that's how you can find the common difference. Now, what if the sequence is reversed? So, what will be the sign of our common difference? So for this one, whenever you have a decreasing sequence, the common difference must be negative, because we know that this is our term number 1, this is our term number 2. And if you are to find the common difference, we use this formula. So second term is 8 minus the first term is 10. So if we have two different signs, we need to subtract and get the sign from the bigger number, which is negative 2. So the negative common difference shows that the sequence is in a descending order. If the common difference is positive, then the sequence is in ascending order. So make sure you remember that. Now, away from the common difference, now let's look at what we call the formula. So there is a formula that we can use to find the position. So this formula is known as the nth term formula. So for an AP, the formula is this one. So Tn is equal to A is the first term in your sequence, plus open brackets N. N denotes the number of terms, minus 1 times D. So the D is the common difference. For example, let's say the question asks us to find the 6th term. What term is on position number 6? We know that if what we can find by just adding the common difference to term on number 5. So 10 plus 2 will get 12. Now, how can we get 12 using this formula? So let's find this number. So say Tn. So n represents the number of terms. So the number of terms is 6. So where there is n, we put 6. A is the first number in our sequence, which is 2, plus n is 6 minus 1, multiplied by our common difference is 2. So we have T6 is equal to 2 plus the difference between the two numbers in brackets is 5. So if we multiply 2 by 5, we get 10. Then the sum of these two numbers is 12. So we can see that we are still getting the same number. If we want, we can also find the number on position number 7, which is the 7th term. So the difference is only that the n changes from 6 to 7. Now, let's say if we are told to find what we call the formula for the nth term. So you need to make sure that you commit this formula to memory. So if you are told to find the formula for the nth term, where there is n, you don't have to substitute anything. So the n remains there. Then our a is still 2 plus n minus 1. Our common difference is still 2. Now, this part here is the same as 2 open brackets n minus 1. So what this simply means is that these two multiply by everything inside the bracket. So we're going to say 2 multiplied by n is 2n. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Where we can now collect the like terms. So we have 2 minus 2 plus 2n. Then we have this can cancel. So our nth term is equal to 2n's. So this 2n can be used to find any number given the position. For example, if you want the 7th term, I'll just say 7 times 2, which is 14. Like that. So that is how you are supposed to find the formula for the nth term. Now, let's say we have a sequence like this one. So the first term, so let's say we have this number here. So now, you may be asked to find what we call the common difference. So how can you use the first term and the last term to find the common difference? So term number 1, term number 2, term number 3, term number 4, term number 5, then term number 6. So it's very important first you indicate the terms. So this concept that I'm going to use here is the concept that you can use to find the common difference given the first and the last term. So what is important is you identify the number of terms. Right, so the formula is still this one. So let's use this formula to solve for D. Now, if this is given, where there is Tn is where you're supposed to substitute with the last number. So the last number in our sequence is 12. First number is still 2 plus C. What is n? So n, we just count the number of terms. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 terms in this sequence. So we have 6 minus 1. Then our target is to solve for D. So we have 12 is equal to 2 plus 6 minus 1 is 5. So we have 12 is equal to 2 plus 5 times D is 5D. So if I shift my positive 2 to the left side, I'm going to have 2 minus 2 is equal to 5D. So 12 minus 2 is 10 is equal to 5D. Then to solve for D, we divide by 5, also here by 5. So D is equal to 5 into 10 is 2. So that's how you can find the common difference using the first and the last term. So to now complete our sequence, we can just say 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 2, 6, plus 2, 8, plus 2, 10, plus 2, 12. Now, away from using the first and the last term to find the common difference now, let's bring in the concept of what we call arithmetic mean. So what is really meant by arithmetic mean? So mean is just the average over, let's say, 2 numbers, 3 numbers, or 4 numbers. But for this one, what is really meant by the arithmetic mean? So the arithmetic mean gives us the middle term of 3 consecutive terms in an AP. Okay, let's say we have 2 as our first number. The second number is not given. Then we have the third number, which is 8. So the middle term, this term here, is what we are referring to as our arithmetic mean. Now, how can we find this number? So it's very simple. You get this number, the first term, and the last term. So you need to add the 2 terms. Then you divide by 2. So 2 plus 6 will give us 8. Then 8 divided by 2 will give us 4. So 4 is the number in between. So that's what you are supposed to do if you are solving for an arithmetic mean. So you add the 2 given numbers, then you average. Now, let's come up with a simple formula. So the simple formula is, I'm going to call this one as the first number, then B, C. So the middle term is B. Then what are we supposed to do to the 2 other terms? We are supposed to add. So we say A plus C, then divided by 2. So this is the formula to find the arithmetic mean. Now, at times you may be given the arithmetic mean of a sequence, let's say, is 4. Now find the first term. So let's say the first term is not given. Then the mean is given and the C is given. So how can you find this? We know that we can find by using the common difference, but how can we use this formula to find this? So to find this formula, you can just write your formula. B is equal to A plus C over 2. So what's our B? The B is the middle term. So let's just do some substitution. So 4 is equal to A, we don't have, plus C. What's our C? 6 over 2 over 1. We cross multiply. So 1 times A plus 6 is just A plus 6. 2 times 4 will give us 8. Then if we shift our positive 6 to the right side, we are going to get 8 minus 6, which is the first value is 2. So my point is, you can use this formula to find B, A, or C. So it depends with the need of the question. Okay, now let's say we have 3 numbers missing. So let's say we have 2, comma dash, comma dash, comma dash. Let's say we have this number here. So can we use the arithmetic mean formula to find the middle number? Yes. So we can use this formula to find this one. So how can we do that? It's the same. We are going to add these 2 numbers. So let's add 2 plus 10 will give us 12. 12 divided by 2 will give us 6. So this number that we have found is here. Then if I find this number, I can find the middle term for the first 3 consecutive terms. So I'll just say 6 plus 2 will give us 8. 8 divided by 2 will give us 4. I can use the same concept to find the middle term between 6 and 10. So 6 plus 10 is 16. 16 divided by 2, we still get 8. So you can solve it in such a way, you can still get the answer. Now let's look at the last part. So the last part is where we look at the arithmetic series. So the arithmetic series now has to do with the addition of the numbers given in the question. So this is the sum of an arithmetic progression. So let's say we have 2 4, 6, 8, 10. Let's say the question is find the arithmetic series of these numbers. So how many numbers do we have? We have 5 terms in this sequence. So let's add these numbers. So 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10. So 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 8 is 20. 20 plus 10 is 30. So this is our arithmetic series. Now, which formula can we use to find the sum of these numbers? So the formula is sum of n terms is equal to n over 2 open brackets 2 times a plus open brackets n minus 1 multiplied by common difference, then we close. N denotes the number of terms. So let's find this 30 using this formula. So n is 5. So say sum of 5 terms is equal to 5 over 2. 2 times what's our a? A is our first term, which is 2, plus 5 minus 1, common difference is 2. So 5 over 2, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 5 minus 1 is 4, multiplied by 2. So 4 plus 4 times 2 is 8. So let's find the sum of the two numbers inside. 4 plus 8 will give us a 12. Then we can say 2 into 2 is 1. 2 into 12 will give us 6. If we multiply 6 and 5, we get 30. So this is how you can find the sum of the given numbers. So now, what of if, let's say, the first and the last 10 are given? So we can also use this formula where we can say sum of n terms is equal to, we'll say, n over 2 open brackets a plus l. So the l is the last term. So let's say we are not given these numbers. We are given the first term and the last term. So how can we use these two numbers to find the sum? So sum of how many terms? There are 5. So 5 over 2. So a is your first number in your sequence, which is 2. L is your last number, which is 10. So for this one, to use this one effectively, you need to make sure that you have the first term and the last term. So 2 plus 10 will give us a 12. Then 2 here is 1, 2 here is 6. 6 times 5 will give us 30. So as you can see, this is how we can answer questions under arithmetic progression. So if you are interested for online tuitions, just pay 50 kwacha and be part of my group. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.